Now, independent power producers say Kenya Power and Lighting Company is to blame for the high cost of power in the country. Speaking while appearing before the Senate Standing Committee on Energy, Triumph Power Generating Company said that KPLC does not take up all the power produced by power generators. Jasmine Murani reports.
On Friday,
Triumph Power Generating Company Limited has attributed the high cost of power to KPLC's failure to take up their net electrical output. This is despite the fact that KPLC has to foot a monthly capacity charge to the tune of more than 40,000 shillings per kilowatt hour, regardless of whether KPLC takes up the power or not.
This is an after effect. Honestly, as I said, this is all because of we are not being used to the level we are supposed to be used. If we are used the way we have put 65% utilization factor, that means 65% of the power generated can be used by KPLC, then obviously those costs will come down.
KPLC only takes up thermal power during shortages caused by either adverse weather conditions or high demand during peak hours. Independent power producers have cited operating below capacity as a major reason for the high cost of power.
But we've also noticed that the blame is shifted squarely on the doorsteps of Kenya Power for failure to plan, for failure to give in advance the demands that will be there. We also noticed that most of the providers have mentioned the fact that if a little bit more what was taken from them, they would be able to lower the prices. Therefore,
earlier, KenGen admitted to having the capacity to produce additional power to match the proposed increase on power production. This begs a question on why Kenya Power continues to buy power from independent power producers, given the expensive nature of thermal power and the stress it exerts on the environment.
And as a law-abiding country, some of these contracts will be entered into are long-term. Some of them are 20 years long. The supplier who was here has still another 12 years to learn.
For IPPs to contribute to lowering the cost of power, a number of things have to be done.
We've realized, especially the thermal, they do procure their fuel independently. However, looking at the economies of scale, if they would procure these collectively or through the Kenya Power, which is actually and was envisaged at the beginning, because the Kenya Power has to kind of okay all the procurement of fuel, then we'd be able to be getting quantity discounts.
So maybe the government needs to do the thing that they need to do to restructure, fire some people at Kenya Power, and they put people who are willing to serve Kenyans to reduce the cost of power.
Jasmine Murani for KTN News.
Now, the government has been cautioned against seeking additional debt from the international market due to high interest